Hey everybody, welcome to the live broadcast of the Lionspridetavern 5-year anniversary. Hey!
Ah!
So let's say hello to Charity.
Yay! Hi, Charity.
And Joda.
Hey, Joda.
Yo.
And Mac.
Hey, Joda.
Aloha!
And Mac's better
Hi.
half. Mrs. Mac.
Hello.
And a blast from the past, I almost forgot Lorelei.
I was waiting.
Yeah,
you
I
did
know.
that last time,
I
too. You did. Hello.
Yeah, say hello to Lorelei. And then a blast from the past, we have Dizzy.
What? Where? Who?
Yeah.
Huh?
What? And we have Epistle.
Howdy, howdy.
I so miss having you, Epistle, because I love the song Tank and Address. I know you didn't.
You don't miss me. You just miss the song.
I do.
That's what I'm hearing.
No, we miss everybody.
Song.
Different song. No, it's one of Charm's songs, and it's Tank and Address. You know, because yeah, most tanks usually end up wearing some sort of dress. And we miss
At some point in their
Charity's song
career
too.
until they figure out how to stop it. But yeah.
Yeah. So how is everybody? Has it seemed like 5 years? Lorelei, you've been on the longest.
Yeah. No, it doesn't seem like 5 years. It really doesn't.
No. I just
Maybe
seemed like
3.
the other day we started and
Yeah, that's where most of my volunteer jobs come is somebody says, oh, look, Lorelei's on. She's around. Let's get her to do it.
Well, that's not the way it came with, that I came to you with it.
No, but I was with Joe who was like, hey, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
You're on.
Well, at the time, we needed to know, we needed some solid people that we knew in the raid group and that would be willing to talk, Yep. I tried. I mean, if you guys were ever to listen to episode 1 had my son on it. Yeah, and it was a really
Episode 1
recording.
is hard to listen to. We were all just like,
Yeah,
Except me.
Yeah, you were fantastic.
I was brilliant. I have no idea what. I've never listened to it.
You, I believe, were on episode 2.
Oh, that's right, because
we came up there
because
to
Casa
Canada.
was on 1. Yep.
Because Casa bailed out.
Casa, yes, he bailed. He was just like, I don't like hearing my voice. I don't like doing this.
Then don't listen to yourself. But yeah.
I don't like that talking thing. Yeah.
So we got Epistle to do it because he was the other tank. And and we went up and did a remote broadcast in Canada with you.
That was a nice field trip.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So everybody's doing good. Dizzy, how are you doing?
Moderately mediocre.
Yeah.
I'm back on the Hunter. Semester's about to start, so my workload is about to go way down. Summer's almost over, so I'm about to have to put the motorcycle away, which makes me sad.
Right.
Life is life.
Yep. Well, but it's still, I guess it does get a little stormy. By the way, if nobody knows, Dizzy lives in the same town as I do. So
Allegedly,
yeah. Him and Mommy used to work together, and Casa always calls him for computer advice. So, and then let's see. Do you guys care to announce where you're from? Mac and Mrs. Mac, you guys are up in Alaska. I'm in Montana. Yep. Dizzy's in Montana.
Yeah, we're losing our summer daylight. Quickly.
Yeah, fast.
We're losing about 5 minutes a day right now, so it's getting... It's 50 degrees is a lot different when it's dark than when it is when the sun's out,
I had to put on a sweatshirt when it was 50 degrees out just the other day and went out there to check on Mommy's. She planted 2 blackberry bushes, so I had to go check on them and water them for her. So Charity, what about you? Where are you at?
I am in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri night.
Missouri.
And Epistle, you're
I'm currently looking up Missouri. Let's see here. Where is that?
Where is Missouri? Epistle's up there in Canada.
Yep, way up north. So if you go north across the border, you get to Calgary in the province we're in Alberta. Keep on going north, and you eventually get to Edmonton, home of Edmonton Eskimos, the West Edmonton Mall, and all those other famous things that everyone knows about. What's St. Louis?
Well, we have states in the United States. You guys have what?
We have states in Canada.
Are there states in Canada? Oh, okay.
Oh no, we have a more civilized province. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say just province.
St. Louis is famous for the St. Louis Archway.
The gateway to the west.
Yep, big silver arch.
Isn't that where they have that big mall down there?
No, that's in
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah, Minneapolis, Missouri, Minnesota.
And when you come over the bridge from Illinois, you can see the big arch, and right behind it is the Cardinals Stadium.
Wait, did you just say Illinois?
Yes, she did. Illinois.
She
you would
did,
get in terrible trouble.
Mispronouncing Missouri as well.
Yeah, it's Missouri.
Missouri.
No, it's actually
Illinois.
Missouri. If you talk to somebody who's from there, most of them will say Missouri. No, you're not.
Yeah, you don't count.
You were hatched from an egg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't you have one? You want to show your egg? Isn't that, or no?
My egg?
Yeah, didn't you just have it out there, that big pillow?
Oh, this isn't an egg. This is a baby Grogu.
A baby Grogu. Okay.
Wait. What did you just call that?
Grogu.
Oh no, not your Stafford. What did you call it?
An egg.
No, it's a big puffy thing. What do you call a big puffy thing like that?
A pillow.
That's what I would say. How did I want to hear how Stafford says it though?
What did I say?
Pilla.
That's what I heard.
Well, that's from my accent in Montana.
Montana doesn't have an accent.
They just don't have W's.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
That's why I can't talk.
Now,
you contractualize a lot of things.
You've got poutine in your neck of the woods, right?
Yes.
A poutine?
Poutine?
Poo. No, it's pronounced poo.
Poutine.
As in poo.
Poutine, yes.
How to make? What does poo sound like? Poo.
Moving on.
So, Joda, what about you?
I'm in Texas.
Texas.
And we have no accent
there
to speak of.
He's y'all. Yeah, there's no accent.
No, y'all's not an accent.
Y'all's my
end of the woods. Y'all is just being efficient. All right, you don't need you all. That's too many words.
Exactly.
Good to go.
Nice. And Lorelai?
I'm from Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah.
Birthplace of the nation.
I grew up in Virginia Beach, right next to Norfolk.
Oh, I know Virginia Beach. Yeah, that's just down the road a ways.
My dad was in the Navy, and I grew up there.
My dad was too, except, we started here, then we moved to California, then we moved to Illinois, then we moved back here.
So you see how she said that?
Illinois.
And then.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no S there either. They don't use their S's in Illinois.
From there.
Oh, well, I was in Great Lakes. It was a naval base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was outside Chicago.
We went to Chicago once. That was a big treat to go on the train to Chicago.
We can tell you a horror story about a train trip to Chicago.
I did boot camp in Chicago. Well, Great Lakes, but we went over to Chicago a lot.
I remember just outside the train station in Chicago with Mrs. Mack and one of her friends, and they were sitting yakking, and we were having pizza. And her friend's son started choking on the pizza, and the girls are sitting there. They didn't notice it. I saw him stop moving, and his eyes got all big, and I walked over around the table. About the time they realized he was choking, I reached down and gave him the Heimlich. And why didn't you say anything? I said, because you were going to react just like you did.
Now, mind you, this was after we were trying to get on the train to go back towards Naperville and whatnot. And we're walking into Union Station, and I hear please evacuate the building. A fire alarm has been activated. And no one else hears it. I start saying something. We're going down the escalator. And then I hear it again. And now the power goes off and everybody's got to get out of the train station. And that's how we ended up across the street at the bar for happy hour with the free buffet and the pizza. And 4 kids.
And me doing the Heimlich, yeah.
Nice. Nice. Well, it looks like we got a few people that joined us live. Thank you very much, guys. And yes, thank you for the happy anniversary wishes. It like we said before, it doesn't seem like it's been 5 years. It just seems like just the other day.
Oh yeah. Well, Dex and I started about the same time you did on the Goblin Goldcast, so I've been podcasting for about as long as you guys have.
Yeah.
I haven't been on this show that long.
No.
Couple years.
Couple years now, yeah. So
I haven't even made it a year.
Well, that's all right. Yours seems to be the hit minute of all of our minutes happens to be yours. It sounds
please.
Like Mrs. Mac. To enjoy something wonderful.
From?
Huh?
Where are you hearing this?
Oh, that was on Discord.
Discord.
Yeah.
I feel like he's hearing it from where he sees the raid, the floor.
Yeah, that still happens.
I join him there a lot.
Truer words.
Yep. Asine was with me the other night. She was on the floor.
Asine, she's good people.
Yeah.
We miss you, Charity.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a lot better though since I've been able to sit with him every night.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you need to spend those early years with him because eventually what he's going to do, he's going to grow up and mom's not going to be fun anymore.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
then
bad.
you guys will have too much of me and be like, okay, go get a life, Charity.
Go get pregnant again.
Spend your time with them now.
Don't do it.
So when they're a
I'm
teenager
done.
and they start ignoring you, you can go, okay, I got something else to do.
No, you cannot be done. You cannot just have one kid.
I'm done.
I'm
I'm too selfish.
done.
No.
He has 2 cousins that live in the same house with him, so it's like having 2 older brothers and sisters.
Yeah, it feels like a healthy connection.
That's good. I don't have to have any more kids. He gets whatever he needs.
See, I have one
everything I need because I'm selfish.
And it's all good.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you think that now.
It's hard because I wanted a little girl because I like to, I'm like, I want a little bow and but I've been doing good. It's been rough.
She sounds like our youngest.
Crud out of me. Oh my gosh. He is in this Evel Knievel stage right now where he's jumping off of everything. Yeah.
Stage?
It gets Charity, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse.
I'm taking it day by day.
There's a grassy ravine near us, fairly steep. Kids use it for a ski hill in the winters. But I was out for a walk with my kids when my oldest was 3, and I turn around, look behind me, and realize he's taken his tricycle to the top of this hill and is looking down. And it's one of those slow motion moments where I'm like, no, as he decides to push himself down.
Yeah.
Now, to his credit, he rode all the way down to the bottom without falling.
Awesome.
I wish I could have been as gracious in that moment, or for that matter, as coordinated. I was running down the hill. Don't die, kid. But I was in greater risk, I think.
Yeah, so, with my son, he's broke his collarbone. He's had his appendix out. He put a toothbrush through the back of his throat.
Hey, do you want me to list my injuries?
And he caught his leg on fire.
Oh, no, just me as an adult having never gotten out of it.
Yeah. I mean, guys, period. Come on. Chicks love battle scars.
I have those too.
Does gout count?
I also no, it doesn't count.
I don't.
I got Mrs. Mack and she needs bubble wrap.
Yeah, well, as long as she has her frying pan, right, Mrs. Mac? As long as you have your frying pan.
Yeah, I didn't bring it with me. It's upstairs.
Right next to Mr. Mac.
She's just not allowed to play with the Cuisinart.
Us.
She tried to lop off.
He did that on purpose so that she couldn't run up there fast enough.
Yeah.
She tried to take off her fingers cleaning out the Cuisinart.
What?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear that one?
Episode 32 of Goblin Gold
Cast.
There's like 20 minutes of Dex and I talking about her trying to cut her finger off.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
We were getting ready to record it. I hear Mac or Mrs. Mac in the kitchen going, "Oh, bleep! Are you okay? I think we need to go to the ER."
Oh no!
And so, she stuck her finger in the Cuisinart. She was trying to clean stuff out of the entrance without unplugging it or detaching it.
Oh no!
And then it rolled on the counter and nailed her finger. So we're driving to the ER. She's got it wrapped in a cloth or a paper towel or something. And we're about halfway to the ER. And I started laughing. And she goes, "What?" And I said, "Why are you laughing?" And I said, you know, you're the reason they have those little labels on wood chippers. So don't stick any hands.
Do not put your head in wood chipper when operating.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. And then we're at the hospital, okay? And we're waiting, and I, being the, social butterfly that I am, posted on Facebook, yep, we're at the ER again, and Mac types in, yep, she still has all 9.5 of her digits. Uh-huh.
Nice.
And then the nurse looks at Mrs. Mac and goes, she looks at her and goes, "Do you feel safe at home?"
Oh no! Social service is knocking on the door.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to use the Cuisinart on my wife. Yeah.
I couldn't get the wood chipper started. Damn it!
I just had to take it smaller chunks.
Yeah. So this is welcome to my world, people. He is just like this every day of the week. This is my life.
Yeah, well,
and
I mean,
you love it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been married
25
years?
Yep, 25 years.
25 years, yeah.
I don't think he was expecting more sickness than health. You put that monster down right now.
See what happens when you're on camera?
Oh, he's... yeah, he's got the big monster.
Yeah.
He'll be up all night.
I got scotch over my left shoulder.
Yeah. No, we promise no more scotch during podcasts.
I did. That's why I got the monster.
That's the gold farming juice.
Yeah, the gold farming juice. Yeah, he'll be up all night
farming. Oh my god, don't even get me started when Joda was farming that dang leather. We could not get him to do anything. He was exhausted. He never slept. Every 2 hours he had to be on for some tormentor thing, and then he was farming leather the rest of the time. I'm like, you never sleep. When are we going to have a normal, alive, awake person?
Listen, keys are temporary. Gold is forever.
That is true.
Well, we've already
I'm holding on to my 2 million like it's going to go away.
We've already built Joda out at $1 million, so we're still trying to get 2 million more out of him.
Almost got it.
Almost.
Almost.
He was sweating bullets, wasn't he?
I was about to transfer the trade over to somebody.
Yeah, right.
Else.
Yeah, you slipped me the 100,000 to die though, so it's all good.
I'll be in $1 tomorrow.
Nice.
Oh wait, I had to sign an NDA. No, I said nothing.
I said nothing.
We're getting closer to that though. I think he's really starting to sweat. But he
did make heroics pretty soon, right? Yeah,
we can start heroics. Get out of normals. We got to kill the last boss in normal before we do that. So,
we were close.
Yeah, we didn't do too bad, did we? This last week.
I'm proud of us.
We got through Painsmith. I was there for that. It was like, holy crap.
And you were alive.
I know, that never happens.
Wait, Mac was alive?
Yeah.
If we were actually to compare the deaths on this...
No, we don't want to do that.
I feel like we should.
Well, this is the second time I've seen. The other times I've been at Paint. The other time I was at Paintsmith was my first time. I didn't know what to expect. They were talking about the spiky balls in front of it, and I was like, okay. And I didn't realize, you just back away from them, don't melee them. Like, okay. So I meleeed him and it meleeed me a lot harder.
We know that you need to be in melee range of the balls.
I need the bubble wrap like Mrs. Mac. It was like my version of the Cuisinart.
Oh, those things hit you and you're done.
Yeah.
It's over.
You don't stick any hands or body parts.
You're in the middle and you barely get nicked on the side. It's over.
Yep.
Like,
you're a tank and you get hit by it. You
awful.
die.
Yeah, that happened to me one time this week. I got clipped on the shoulder. Thought I made it through and didn't quite get there.
I was like, I guess not.
It's the people in the chains that keep booping you.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, there's this hunter that keeps booping you occasionally.
Yeah.
No, I was looking for jelly.
That was the best.
I was
day
looking for
ever.
jelly.
When we first went on that boss.
Yeah.
And the Stafford was on the edge. It was perfect.
Yeah.
I recorded it and everything. It was so fun.
Yep.
I just pushed you into the group, though. I didn't kill you.
Yeah. No, there was somebody else that pushed me into the balls that had chains.
No.
So, yes.
Who am I paying?
Jelly.
Listen, I got to
be back.
Did she do it on purpose, though? I'm thinking
I
probably
don't
not.
think she did. She was just trying to get through the opening.
Who cares? Who cares?
I'm gonna
At
thank
this
Joe.
point, who really cares?
No. Nobody cares.
No.
I want to thank Joda for reminding me when you get knocked back on the one platform, boss, that's a demon hunter, you can glide down.
Uh-huh.
I made it just to the edge. Almost got killed this week, but yeah, made it back. Thanks, Joda.
Glad I could help. Demon hunters are able to cheat so many mechanics in this raid.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, because it's all out on balconies.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I've got so many other disabilities.
There are a lot of platforms, actually, now that you mention it.
Yes.
There are a lot of platforms in this raid. So there's just a ton of stuff that you could fall off of.
Although I
Even
have
in
to
the
say,
trash.
I like the platforms better than the tight rooms because it doesn't screw with my camera.
True.
Yep.
You use our Batman abilities.
Like the trees and halls of, is it atonement? No. The Curian dungeon with all the trees.
Oh, Aspires
And
of
the
Ascension.
wing. Yes, the trees and the wings and everything is covering your view the entire fight, and you can't see past anything but those things. So you have to be zoomed in. Yeah, it's no bueno.
Yeah, I don't like to be zoomed in. Well, look,
it's like being a tank.
We put out a call for questions. We didn't get too many. But I think a couple of them are going to be, or the two of them that I looked at, are going to be kind of long explanation ones. So, because what I want to do is I want to break it up and get everybody's opinion on the question. So, Mac, why don't you go ahead and pick the first question that they had there, or whichever one you want to. And
okay, let me get to it.
Read it to us. Yep. And we'll answer a question from the fans.
There's a new one, too. The first one was, what times do you raid and what servers are you on for both TBC and Shadowlands? That's the first question.
All right. So, I originally picked Dragonblight with a buddy of mine because we thought Dragonblight was a cool name. So that was the only reason we're in Dragonblight. But we cross-realm raid. Charity, you're not in Dragonblight anymore, right?
My tank still is.
Okay, all right. But I know Joda's...
But yeah, we have another raid on Silvermoon.
Yeah, Silvermoon. That's what I was... Yeah, and that's where you're at, right, Joda? Silvermoon?
Oh, I'm on Wormrest.
Oh, Wormrest. Okay.
No, he drinks the haterade. He's not anybody's friend.
Ooh.
All by himself.
So a lot of us have converted over to Dragonblight for retail, but it's not a requirement for our guild at all.
My paladin's still on
nice
Dragonblight.
now.
well, yeah, I mean, but some people have done it, and they feel compelled they have to, and I think it's actually with a lot of raid groups, especially your high-end raid groups, it's required. We don't require.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
well,
don't mind.
that's because on Mythic you have to be on the server to run Mythic with the raid group.
Right, but I mean, Mythics, we're not even. There's no way we're ever going Mythic.
Yeah.
We talked about it once.
And we do it by accident.
And then left.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we did it once by accident.
Mm-hmm.
I was there.
Yeah.
I guess
didn't know it until we all died.
What? Stafford died quicker than usual.
We all died faster than
usual. Mommy wasn't there, so I had to set the raid group up.
Brand new raid, first experience
first time running it. And I set it, instead of heroic, I set it to mythic. Or no, maybe
we
it was.
Ran in all confident
normal.
And got smacked right off the bat.
It's like, man, they really overtuned this one, huh?
It's like, geez, we're never going to get through this one.
Casa was like, why are they hitting so hard?
Yeah, I'd burned all my cooldowns in seconds.
Yeah. So that was fun. But, and then, I guess it was Mac and I that got the idea to do Classic and run a Classic group when it first started up. And I don't remember why we picked Pagel. I think it was the first one we looked at.
There were a lot of podcasts that were going over there and doing Pagel.
Okay.
I think Convert to Raid was over there. There were a bunch of them that were over there doing stuff on Pagel. And Pagel was really, really full when it first started. There was, half an hour lead time to get in.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. But so we picked Pagel for the Lionspridetavern, and then when it first went live, I immediately, dove in and got the guild set up, and then realized the guild doesn't do you crap in Classic. It's just a name because there's no guild bank. Well, there still isn't in BC, is there?
No, not
yet. I
yet.
didn't think so. Yeah, not yet. So. But we moved from Classic on to BC, and we're doing Burning Crusades. So anybody that wants to join us, by all means, if you want to raid with us, we raid Friday and Saturday nights at 8:30 Eastern time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. About that.
Yep. And 8:30ish. We like to start at 8:45, but we all get logged in 8:30. You're more than welcome to join. Mommy takes care of, who can come and who can't, because she tracks who's been there longer, because we do go by who's been raiding with us the longest. So if you're a new person and we have room, we'll definitely take you along. But if we got a full group, then, just be aware. Right now, we still aren't pushing 30 yet. We're getting up there. There's been a couple of weekends here in the past few that we haven't quite. Well, I've gone, do we have enough people to actually have a raid? But
I keep napping on Saturdays. I'm old.
Well, and you work late on Fridays, and it's tough to get in.
Well, yeah. By the time I get off work, you guys, raids already started at 5 o'clock my time when I get off. Raids start about 15 minutes before that.
Right.
So luckily I'm only 10 minutes from work to home, so I zip on down and get there as quick as I can. But you guys are usually a couple bosses in by the time I get there on Friday.
Yeah, and my wife works in another town. Mommy works in another town, so it takes her an hour and a half to get home. So when she's on the days where she's coming home on Friday, Casa and his sister, what is she going by? Vivian, yeah. They set up the raid, and then Mommy usually joins us a couple of fights in. So
that was my daughter. What's her name? That moment right there. Yeah.
Well, okay, so you got to understand. I got into YouTubing because when you go to ask your kid, what do you want to do with your life? And what do you want to be? You want to be a firefighter? You want to be a policeman, an astronaut, that kind of stuff. My daughter goes, I want to be a YouTuber. And I had no clue what that was. So I started YouTubing to get the experience so I could help her. And then she was like, nah, I don't want to do that anymore. But she's had like 50 different names. You know, she changes her name more than she changes her socks. I can tell you that much.
She changed characters, though.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, new characters each time. But no,
she's still Lunas with us.
Yeah, she's still Lunas on Discord, unless you go to my gaming Discord where she is Wolfie. So she's got this whole wolf thing going on. She loves wolves. So, but anyway, yeah, that's retail, and then Classic is on Pagel, and we do Classic every Saturday at noon Eastern time. Except this last Saturday, we didn't do that because we're going to be doing this live anniversary, so we weren't going to talk about anything we did over the weekend. So, and everybody had stuff to do. Yeah. Well, you know, everybody had stuff to do. But yes, we're on the Pagel server, and we start at noon on every Saturday, noon Eastern time. So you have to kind of figure out your own time zone there. But we got quite a few people that do that. You know, we get, I think, refresh my memory, Mac, I think 9 is the highest that we've had on one Saturday.
We've had 3 groups at one time.
Did we have 3 groups? I couldn't remember if we did or not.
It's been a while, but we did at one point.
Yeah. So we got people like Bricko and Lystra and Kayla that have joined us, and they just recently, and they're from another podcast. Well, Bricko's from another podcast, and they've joined us in Classic. Bricko's our healer, but
I'm sorry.
The rest of us bring lots of bandages and healing potions.
Yeah. Did I hear air quotes around that?
Yes,
what
there
was
were
that?
air quotes.
It's like, oh no, I'm sorry.
Really funny story is Bricko's got this attention problem. He doesn't stay focused very well. But
that's not a good trait in a healer.
Right?
Nope.
And he was healing but forgetting to heal because he was trying to do more damage. And then I taught him how to use the text-to-speech voice for chat.
Yeah, thanks, Stafford.
And it made it 10 times worse because all of his subs they're like crazy people, the people that watch his stream, and they tease him and so they're making all sorts of, because it's, you know, you can do British voices or whatever, you know, you can change the voice whatever you want, but each person gets a specific voice type. So some of them sound very condescending or whiny, you know, so they like hearing themselves speak. And boy, it was really distracting for Bricko. Too funny. So yeah,
Bricko's a lot of fun.
So, and then Charity, you run a group. You're with Joda runs in that group too, and Dizzy. Dizzy, do you run with them too?
I do as well. Yes.
Yeah. And you guys run on. You guys are running Mythics right now.
No, we're making our way through Heroic.
We're doing Heroic.
Oh, you're gonna do Heroic. You could
the
try it.
Tuesday, Wednesday group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I do that one too.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. So yeah. What else? What other questions you got? I think that answered that one, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this next one is the one that I think everybody needs to answer on their own.
Blue.
Yeah.
So, wrong
this
guess?
is from
No,
AJRPG. He says, for those of us who haven't been around since early on, how'd you guys end up getting the podcast started, and what's the story there?
All right. So when we first started a raid group up, I'm gonna do my perspective first. But when I first started this, I didn't start the raid group up. Me and Lorelei and Mommy were in a raid group, and it was a father-son run raid. And then they kind of fell out, so they asked us if we wanted to take it over. So I got together with my son, my wife. Yeah, I got together with them and said, okay, if we're going to do this, you know, we need to set up clear definitions of what we want this raid group to be like. So we had probably an hour and a half to 2 hour discussion, and got it figured out. How we wanted it, what people, well, I should say not what people we wanted, but the people we didn't want in it. And we're going to be just totally nice and good about it. So I started the podcast because we were having issues of people, listening.
Heard that, Charity.
Yeah. People listening during the raid to the stuff you needed to do for the raid. All the mechanics and so on and so forth. People were like, in chat going, come on, hurry up, let's get this over with. So we decided to do this podcast just to get our raid group to listen to the podcast so we could talk about it. That was the purpose of starting it for me. And it kind of blew up. And it's become as much, if not more fun than playing WoW, doing the podcast. I love doing it. And I do the editing, I do the recording, I get everybody together and coordinate it and so on and so forth. Topic-wise, it's pretty much just talking about the raid that we did on Friday and Saturday night. And then whatever else happens, So I'll just start at the top and go with Charity. How did you come by the podcast?
I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, and I listened to Ro and Realm Maintenance and his show that he talks about other podcasts, and you guys were on it. And I had to listen because I just thought you guys were hilarious. So I started listening, and then I liked him so much I ran out. So I went backwards. And yeah, and then I commented on something that you guys had done on YouTube because that's where you had some of your podcasts posted. And it gave you the link to my YouTube when I said, hey guys, great show, blah, blah, or I answered a question or something. I don't even know what. And then you watched my one thing I still had up from Pandaria, and you cracked up and you're like, oh my God, you should come and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. So I think I did a show, and then I started raiding with you guys.
Yep.
And then you're like, can you keep coming? I'm like, cool, yeah. So yeah. Well, and then I got pregnant, and
Yeah. Well, I watched this video on YouTube of this you don't see the person,
Goblin baby.
Yeah, but
Goblin.
She's got an awesome voice, as you can tell, and she's just giggling her butt off, pulling this pot of stew or whatever it was across the country.
It's a quest. You have to pull the pot across of Pandaria, and you have this stuff, and it's bouncing everywhere, and the soup's going all over the place. I was dying.
She was
so funny.
She was cracking up, and I was like, I gotta have her on the podcast. So I invited her as a guest first, to see how well she would do.
Test the waters.
Yeah. So that's how Charity came to be. Mac, how about you?
Well, we were doing the Goblin Goldcast, and excuse me, Dex and we heard about you on Ro's show, and I started listening, and I think you heard about us on the show as well.
Yep.
And then I was listening to your show, and you mentioned that you would like us to try to raid with you. And we played Horde, you played Alliance, and so I made a Alliance tune. That's how I ended up as a demon hunter. I figured the easiest way to get to max level was to make a demon hunter. And I got him up to max level and got to the raid. First night I was in the raid with you guys. Someone said, "Oh, so what's your gear score?" And I said it, and I think it was a pistol that went, "Oh my."
No. That was Joe Bowie. That was Joe Bowie.
Somebody said, "Oh my."
Yeah.
I just quietly rolled my eyes in the back of my head.
Well, I told everybody prior to him getting there in raid, I said, okay, look, I invited this guy from another podcast. He's never raided before. I mean, I explained it to everybody. And the first question out of Joe Bowie's mouth was, what's your gear score? And we were supposed to be like at 300. And Mac comes in like, 212.
It may have been 170.
Yeah,
it
was low.
I just looked at the mobs and died before they even pulled. I mean, it was terrible.
But it was the idea of getting another podcast person into our raid group. So, because they had mentioned, I think the way it went is you guys had mentioned us. And then so we had to retaliate, or maybe it was the other way around. I don't remember. I think it was we mentioned the Goblin Goldcast, and then I sent you the link. I don't remember how it happened, but yeah, that's how we got you involved.
Yeah, and then we got and then I was doing the raid with you guys, and it was probably a year or so later. Dex and I stopped doing the Goblin Goldcast because Dex got tired of playing the game. No.
Well, we could never convince him to. I mean, he said he rolled an Alliance tune, but then he got sick.
Oh, he was just trying. He was trying to play. Yeah, he was trying to play. His playtime was a lot more curtailed back then. And then, like I said, we stopped doing our podcast, and it was about a year and a half after we did that podcast that you said, "Do you want to come over and guest on the show?" So I guested once, and then it was like a couple weeks later. You said, "Do you want to come on the show and be on the show?" It's like, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've been ever since.
Yeah, cool. How about you, Mrs. Mac?
I was a guest on the show a couple years ago. And I listened, and for a while I rated, and then it got to be I can't handle visually everything going on in the raid. It just makes me really dizzy. So I stopped raiding, and then Classic came out, and we were talking in Discord about recipes, and we got talking about the WoW cookbook, and someone had said, "Yeah, we should do that. That should be on the podcast." And I said, "Well, I'd be willing to do one or two, just for grins and giggles." And then I get a text from you, Stafford, saying, "Yeah, I like that idea. You should come on." And we were going back and forth, and I said, "Are you going to tell Mac, or am I telling Mac?" And he said, "No, you can tell Mac." And the first words out of Mac's mouth when I said, "Oh, guess what? I'm going to do a minute on the podcast." He says, "Does Stafford know?" Just like that. Does Stafford know?
Because you know that if that's what she wanted, that's what she's gonna get.
And I said, yes, it was his idea. And he just kind of said, "Oh,
I'm gonna have to."
And then
I'm kidding.
Yeah, and then when I told him it was on cooking, that's when he fell over laughing.
I've seen her cook.
I
cook in self-defense.
I talk about my mistakes quite easily because it's like, hey.
We don't have to bring up the carrots.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot, Stafford. Charity, did you not ever hear about the carrots?
Oh, that was one of my favorite episodes.
I have to watch. I'll have to listen to that
she
one.
She briefly tells me what happens before the podcast. No. So I wasn't going to warn her. So as we start the podcast, I start off with, "So Mrs. Mac, how's that carrots?" You'll have to tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
She turned them into charcoal briquettes.
Here's the thing. Oh, I got you a better one. Blow it out. So he asked me to boil some carrots for him to put in this potato salad. Okay. And they were very good in the potato salad once they actually got boiled and done properly. He asked me to do this. Now, mind you, I had just started chemo at that point, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks in, and the chemo brain was starting to hit. And I put the carrots on the stove to boil and promptly forgot about them, and then went down in the basement to work on a quilt, and I started smelling something. I'm like, boy, and they were working on the road behind us, and finally I got a whiff, and I was like, oh.
As usual,
and I
the
go
smoke
upstairs.
goes off. Food's done.
That's how my wife
The smoke
cooks.
alarm did not go off, and you know it. But anyway, I start going upstairs, and as I turn the corner on the stairs, and I'm seeing some smoke.
Some smoke.
And I look at the stove. It wasn't a lot. It really wasn't. And I look at the stove. And
at that point, there wasn't a lot of smoke left. There wasn't a lot of carrots left.
Yeah. I was like, oh, 4-letter word.
Beep.
And
beep,
I go, yeah. And so I go to the stove and I turn it off and I look in there and
black poop.
It was bad.
Wow.
And I don't know if Matt called me or if I texted him, but somehow I was like, and I took a picture and I sent it to him, and I could hear him laughing at the rail yard. Oh my gosh!
Do you have the picture?
It's on Discord somewhere.
Okay, I have to look.
It's on Discord. Yeah, I
totally missed that one, and I listen.
Yep.
They were carrots. Yeah. So and I do the cooking minute, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't know they were carrots unless somebody told you.
Okay, so
they
think of
look
it
like those burnt sticks inside the pan.
I thought it was dirty gardening tools.
Like anyone, like that's the idea, right? That anyone would be able to pick up what you're doing then, because like you're like, if I can do this.
Yes.
You can do this.
If I can burn carrots, you can burn carrots.
If I burn carrots, I think you could probably cook it, and it makes people more comfortable with it because you are a normal person making these things, and most of them are
most of them are,
right?
She's fabulous when she bakes. She's awesome baking.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, but the sweet potato bread, we're gonna try that one again. That was one of the first ones that I did, and it just did not come out. I don't know, but So yeah, that's how I ended up on the podcast.
And in charge of the cooking show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
now you know why I drink.
You drank before that.
I was going to say, I don't think that was the reason.
Somebody's in trouble now.
I've got to have an excuse. I'm sorry.
All right, Dizzy, how did you come by the podcast?
Well, I started raiding with you guys after my old raid team broke up because everybody graduated college, and then I met Mommy. And then I think I started on the podcast after Joe Bowie left. I started just to fill in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we were down one person because Joe Bowie was our range DPS. What we did back at the beginning, we had one tank, we had one healer, we had one range DPS, and we had one melee DPS, and then I was acting as host. So we had 5 of us, and we wanted the 4
because you're not range DPS.
Well, I am, but I didn't.
You can't range DPS from the floor.
DPS.
Okay, I'm ranged floor DPS. But I wanted a perspective from each one of the classes, and so when we talked about this particular boss, you could hear the melee perspective, you could hear the range perspective, the tank, and the healer. And when we lost Joe Bowie, we needed another range perspective. Yes, I could have done it, and I think I did. I filled in before we brought you in, but I don't. I think people want to hear more about everybody's opinion besides mine.
I was going to say, the opinion of people that are alive.
Yes. I get to see more of the fight.
Do ya?
He gets to see the textures on the floor.
Yeah.
It really depends what fight you die on and where you die.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a couple of times where I've died and got pushed off the ledge and then I don't see anything. So, not very good for a stream.
I can attest there are definitely times when I'm raid leading and I've died and it's like, oh, this is so much easier to
it is,
call warnings now.
He doesn't raid lead.
He does with us.
I was talking about the Tuesday Wednesday group.
It's hypothetical.
Oh.
No, not Joda. Stafford.
No. I did.
Oh yeah.
I did.
You don't even hear Stafford talk anymore.
No.
Being on the floor can offer good points of view.
He's like not even there.
I am.
He's sitting there with a sandwich.
Yeah, watching TV.
Watching TV.
I get to there when it's important, I get there. So, all right, Epistle. How about you?
Looting?
Yeah, the looting part.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so much fun setting up.
I'm there I'm the comic relief. I'm the red shirt.
True.
So, Epistle, how did you come by this podcast? We kind of already covered that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we sort of did a little bit. So, there were, a need for a tank perspective, and as the other guy wasn't going to do it, it fell to me.
Did you feel pressured?
The arm twisting was intense. No, actually, it was fun. It also gave me a chance to kind of think a little bit about tanking and why you do what you do and how would you explain it to people. Normally, I wouldn't do it, right? Normally, I'd just play and do the things and maybe pick up from other people. But I always find if you have to explain something to somebody about why you do what you do, you get better at it, right? And you also can have that good feeling of giving somebody else a hand and walking through how to do something. So I did enjoy that part of the podcast and walking people through from the beginning. So the tanking minute, dress music aside, was certainly excellent.
I loved the dread. That was my first one I picked when I was going through all of Charm's music, because she's got a lot of music, and I had to listen to them all, and then pick out snippets of it for each person to use for their minute. And,
so the key word is you really enjoyed it. Now, hockey Canadian story here. My dad had me play hockey when I was young, and I was like 4 years old, and he was like having me play hockey, and he was really enjoying it. And he was the other day he was like, "Oh, you really enjoyed hockey, right?" And I'm like, "No, I did it to make you happy, Dad." So
yeah, I know.
That's not what's going on here, but maybe a little bit of the music.
I did the same thing. I played football all throughout high school. And football was okay, don't get me wrong, but I was one of the bigger kids in school, so as a freshman, I was playing on junior varsity and varsity team. I didn't start on the varsity because there was a rule that you couldn't until like after halftime. You couldn't bring anybody that wasn't a junior or senior in. But I played a lot of football, and like I said, it was fun, but it's not what I wanted to do. My love was golf. I loved golf, but my dad was like, "You're not playing golf. Golf's a sissy sport," And I was like, "Yeah, look at Tiger Woods." Yeah. Look at Arnold Palmer,
So I'll say, doing the podcast, love doing it.
Yeah.
the music, fortunately, I didn't have to listen to it. So it all worked out well.
Yeah. All right, Joda, how about you?
Oh, I found y'all while working. I was looking for podcasts that talked about raid experience, and most of them were usually either like super hardcore, going like talking about mythic raiding, or they were like super casual groups that like refuse to raid at all. So it's really nice to find a kind of intermediary group that raided and then was doing the content I was doing. So that's why I kept on listening. And then the first time I think I joined y'all for actual raid was in Battle of Desire Lore. I found like Ant's stream and just whisper at him, "Hey, do y'all want another monk?" And it's like, yeah, we got this fan coming in, and that was the first time I raided with y'all.
Yeah, I remember that. And
strong woman.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yes, the old callback to South Park.
Yeah. And now refresh me. What you won the contest, didn't you?
Yep, I got the poster signed by everybody.
Everybody but Charity.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
You got it all signed by the important people.
Charity, you should wait for real. You, like, write your signature on like a paper and like just email it to me. I'll
a
print it
sticky
out
note?
and attach it to the poster.
You
I'll tack
should.
it on.
Oh my
should.
god, we got to do that just.
And
for
then
fun.
and Charity put 1 of 1 on it, so that gives it some clarity that this is an original.
Oh.
And there's only 1, 1 of 1.
That's okay, because I got, the backup, because I get to have him on both raid teams and on my mythic teams. So
Yeah.
all right. He
All right.
needs my raid, so and he's not dead.
Well, sometimes. Like I said, it's easier to call stuff when I'm dead.
Yeah.
It's true.
There have been times where I've thought about, okay, I'm going to hit the boss and then jump off and then just call stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lorelei.
yes.
How did you end up doing the podcast?
Well, I started raiding with you back during Pandaria. Theo got me into that. What was the name of that site?
I thought it
Looking
was
for
before,
raid?
I thought it was before Pandaria.
No, it was Pandaria.
Was it?
Because that's when our guild kind of fizzled out. People left to do Star Wars.
Oh.
No, was it before? No, I thought it was Pandaria.
See, I remember you raiding in Pandaria with us, but
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were with us when, and I can't think of the guy's name that started the raid group originally. Him and his dad.
Yeah,
But
can't remember his name either.
there was a website that we used to
Right,
get raid
it
members.
was
Open raid.
Open
Open
raid.
raid.
yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, Theo said, "Well, you're not doing anything. We're not. The guild's just kind of sitting there empty, and I'm just running around trying to make sure nobody steals from the guild bank. That was my job during the summer." And he said, "Well, come on. You like to raid, so come on and do that. We'd finish that raid anyway." And then I just decided after there was just so much drama going on with that guild and switching servers and switching sides, and it was just like, oh, I'm just going to go back. I'm going to raid with you guys because it was just a lot more fun. And then you hopped in and you said, hey, I want to put this podcast together and I need a melee DPS point of view.
Yep.
So I said, I wasn't going to do it in the beginning because I'm like, that's just way out of my comfort zone. But I said, you know what? You got to take a chance sometimes.
See, and
I should be used to talking to people. But
I was going to say, because see, that was my thinking after the first episode.
That's what everybody thinks about me. It's like, I don't like talking to people.
Well, no, but my thought process was after the first episode and my son decided to back out, I was like, well, geez, Epistle's a teacher and he's doing really well. And I knew you were a teacher, and I was like, boy,
I do better with kids. Yeah, I do better with kids.
Well,
and then you realize you're dealing with Stafford.
That's why.
It's just another group of kids.
And Mac.
Yeah.
And Mac.
Yeah. No, it's been fun, and they knew about it at work because it turns out you kept it on the quiet, but there are a lot of teachers who game. A lot of them. And
yes, there are.
It started coming out, and then one of my friends said, oh yeah, and she's on this podcast. And everybody's like, what? She does? Because they know I don't like to stand up in front of a group of people and talk. But yeah. And it was fun. I enjoyed it after the first couple where I was just really nervous about talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun ever since.
We're glad all of you that are on the podcast and all of you that have been on the past podcasts and have been hosts. We're very thankful you guys, as Lorelei put it, stepped out of your comfort zone and did it. Because the first time we decided to do, that was last year at the 4th anniversary, we decided to go live. And I was like, I've been doing this podcast for 4 years and I get to edit. So I can edit out all my ums and ahs and ohs and the heavy breathing, and then leave some of them in depending on who it is. Charity.
The bloopers have been fun.
Yep. Well, but see, we've gotten so good
Yeah,
no
we don't
bloopers
do 'em
anymore.
as much.
Yeah, Mrs. Mac's like a professional. I think she's only had one blooper.
Yeah, she's the best one.
Yeah. So, all right. Well,
okay, I want whatever you guys are taking. Okay, like, yeah.
Well, Mac passed out some of your brownies that you made.
Hey, those were plain brownies.
Yeah, that's what I call them.
I have some gummies. I have some gummies that I get to use.
So
we did have one more question that came out today, and this is from Grizzly.
Okay.
And it's, what are your most memorable moments on the show, and or in the last 5 years of WoW?
Wow.
Ooh, that's a good
one. So let's make that a 2-part question. So let's do it as your favorite moment in the show and your favorite moment in WoW. Charity, take it away.
Oh, why me? I'm trying to think.
See, I used to do it to Epistle all the time.
I know, and I was like, duh. So that's why I'm laughing. It's like, I'm not it. I'm not it.
God, I played for so long. Well, I'll just go from this one I use all the time. So in game, I met someone when I was in an abusive relationship, and they helped me through it. And she has become my best friend, and her husband as well. And he came all the way from Missouri, pick me up in South Carolina, and bring me to live, to visit them, and then to stay with them. When I decided, this is what I want to do. And they're my new family because I don't have real connections with my family. So they live upstairs, I live downstairs, and we're one big family.
That is awesome.
Even came back after I got a husband. I'm like, let me go get a husband, and then we're back. And my family is downstairs, hers is upstairs, and it's like we're one big family.
That's
her
cool.
kids call me to Mama. And my kid calls her mom, just like the same, because he doesn't know any better. So we're both his parents, and they're both the dads. So it's really nice. And the relationships I have formed in this game have been amazing. Like, I have met the most amazing people. When I'm having trouble with my toddler and I don't know what to do and I have questions, I can text Mommy and be like, hey, dude, did Johnny do this? Like, is this normal? And even like he's going through sleep troubles and she's helped me with the sleep stuff. And it's been really nice because this is my family, like truly. And I know everybody's like, oh yeah, your family. I'm like, no, really, I don't have family. This is my family. So it's really nice to have that connection. So I think that's probably the first moment I was like, these people are like real people. Like, they're not just these people that I can just /ignore anytime, So those connections really started forming at that point when I realized that people do really want to help. They're not just these fake people online that are pretending. You know? You do get those people, but yeah. So, and then my favorite time on the podcast, I think it was the poster thing. That was like our first big thing that we did, that we sent out, that was like connecting with what was going on, and the fact that we had so much submission, and then I really liked the screenshot contest.
Yeah, that was
really,
fun.
really liked that one. Was really fun because we got to go somewhere and say, hey, I like this place.
Try to find this.
Figure out where it is. I really liked that too. Yeah,
well,
I think those are my two favorite things: the poster and then the screenshot thing.
The screenshot thing was your idea, wasn't it?
Right? Oh, was it?
I think so.
I don't know, but that's probably why it was so great.
Yeah, I know, right?
I like those giveaway things because it's like we're actually, we're sending something physically to someone and connecting with them. So
and then the very first one we did, we got him back and he's on the podcast.
I know.
Right? So
return on investment.
Yeah.
True.
That was a good ROI.
Yeah, I'm going to make that sticky note right now.
On air during the 5th anniversary podcast.
It's coming.
Strong woman.
You like yellow?
There you go. Well, the sticky note. It's got to be yellow.
Yeah. Yellow.
Yep.
What's your favorite color, Joda?
Green.
Ooh, green. What's your favorite
I'm a monk.
smell? Let's see.
Smell? You have markers that smell?
They're smelly markers.
All right. Well, we're gonna move
Apple.
on. We're gonna move on to Mac.
I got Sharpie smell.
Yes, Sharpie. So Mac,
How
what was
did
your?
you get the Sharpie?
Have you not seen on the top of your forehead yet, Mrs. Mac?
I had plans for when you went to sleep.
So Mac, how about you? What was your favorite WoW and your favorite podcast moment?
Oh, let's see. My favorite moment in the game was when Dex. I'm not a super big mount collector. Dex is a huge mount collector, and it was just before we started doing the Goblin Goldcast. Is even a week before. Dex said, "Hey, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do this." He was going after the Ashes of Alar. And he goes, "I'm going to do this thing. Here, let me show you this dungeon. You get a chance to get a mount in this thing. I've been doing it forever, and you get a chance to get this mount." And he brought me over there to show me the dungeon for Ashes of Alar. And he goes, "You know what? We're high enough level. We can solo this by ourselves. Let me show you what we need to do to go do this. And then when we're done, you solo one on your side, I'll solo on my side. We double our chances for getting the Ashes of Alar." I was like, okay. So I go walking through there. We do the dungeon, and he finishes it. I finish it. And the last fight takes forever because of the little scripts and everything. They're listening to the boss. And it's like, okay, this is the loot I got, and I blah, 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 blah. And then I saw the Ashes of Alar thing. He goes, "No, you didn't." I said, "Yeah, I did." He goes, "No, you didn't, because you get a guild achievement for doing, or you get an achievement that'll pop up in guild when you get it." And I right-clicked on the thing, and the achievement came up. He rage quit on Skype with me. He came back a few minutes later, but it was so funny because he'd been doing that for months, multiple tunes every day, running or however often you can run through it. And the first time through, it's like, this isn't hard.
Sounds like Lorelei's luck.
Really?
It sounds like a recipe I was trying to get.
Yeah, there we go. And then, let's see, podcast moments. That would have had to have been...
when you got Charm on the show. Oh, wait.
Well, I think my best one was when we had... Jiminy Christmas. I used to do a podcast.
When he got arrested in Britain because he was trying to get Charm on the show. You can't think of the podcast. I know.
I'm going brain dead. I'm trying to remember his name.
So you remember, Mac, when you get older, your brain gets full.
I know.
And you have to process.
It's like Kelly Bundy on Married with Children. It all goes in, and then there's not enough room, so stuff starts coming out.
He's been doing his show under Dorian is the name on his show. It was Jimmy Christmas. Anyways,
yeah,
he's done some collabs with Charm.
Yes,
and we had him on our podcast, and you were like, "Who's that?"
Yeah. See, Mac doesn't tell me. He doesn't tell me, before the podcast that this is somebody who sings with Charm. No, he waits till we're live doing the podcast.
That was what made it so good, though, because you were so excited.
Well, I was excited because I wanted him to get a hold of Charm for me.
That was so funny.
And get her on the show. But I know she's all famous and stuff, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, that was a good show. I like that one. How about you, Mrs. Mac? Favorite WoW, favorite podcast moment? Then don't say the carrots.
I think my favorite WoW moment, and this is probably going to shock Mac, was in the beginning. And before I started playing, I used to just look at him and how in the name of Sam Hill can you fall asleep at the computer? And I started playing WoW, and on about my second or third night, I fell asleep at the computer with my head on the bookcase, and I have not complained about him falling asleep at the computer ever since. Podcast moment?
Yeah, I know you haven't been doing it too long. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've done like now 13 of them.
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, something like that, because it was like right around the time I started. Right. Anyway, chemo brain. I honestly don't have one that sticks out other than the look on Mac's face when I told him I was going to be on the podcast.
Well, that was a great moment too.
Yeah, it was.
Except for the Scotch incident, he's been well behaved.
Yeah,
except for the after that podcast incident, which is like, I was mortified the next day. I was like, I can't believe it. Because I was like, oh, I'm fine, I'm in control. And I got on there. As soon as I started talking, it was like, I should not be doing this.
He even muted himself a couple of times.
It was funny. Like, I've got the right to remain silent. Let's just shut up.
Great.
And I tried, and then every once in a while I'd say something.
But you did not have the ability.
No. Oh, gee, Christmas.
All right, Dizzy, how about you?
So whoever asked. Oh, well, hold on. Whoever asked. Mac went to book club one day before the podcast, and it's this series of books. It's a wonderful series of books, and I've been to book club once or twice. I avoid book club because Mac just needs some place that I'm not there. And they tend to drink a lot at book club. And I mean, they drink worse than sailors. And
wait, he is a sailor.
Yeah. Yes, I know that. And that's why it's so hard to say that. But it was just, Mac is not allowed book club before podcast ever again. Ever.
Yeah.
Well, they've been doing these challenges at the book club meeting. The hot like the hot chocolate or a super spicy chip, the super hot spicy gummy bear. They've been doing that on this, and there's like 4 or 5 people that order one of those $30 for a gummy bear. Jamie Christmas. Anyway, so they order these things. They'll eat them and do the little challenge on the podcast. And I don't feel like self-torture, so I won't do that. But I'll sit and drink and laugh at them.
I thought you were going to do the 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger challenge. I can do 4.
It was funny.
All right, Dizzy, how about you? Favorite WoW or favorite podcast and favorite podcast moment?
Which one first?
Your choice, whichever you would like.
I will go with podcast because it's shorter. It was 100% edited out, but I remember my first minute where I just, for some reason, I didn't catch the cue, and I just kind of sat there like a dumbass for about 10 or 15, 20 seconds, and then people started nudging me. Hello. It's your time now.
I remember that. We're all thinking, does he know his mic's not on yet?
I think how many people can sit here and honestly say that they haven't done that?
Oh, yeah, I did it, and it was like my first or second one, and y'all were just laughing up a storm at me.
That's because I did it first.
I've forgotten to hit my push to talk button.
Well, that counts. Yeah, he's off there talking, and he didn't push his push to talk button. I've done it. I know Charity's done it. Lorelei, have you done that?
I did that.
I don't know. I get very panicky about doing it, so I just tend to keep my fingers off the keyboard.
Okay.
I definitely missed a few of like the sign-offs.
Yeah. The extras.
I almost missed them. Sometimes I'm like, is it my okay?
What happens is like Charity, she had to leave the podcast to take care of her kids. So it's like I'll say, okay, see you next week, and then the first person's always Charity. Well, Charity wasn't there, and Mac was like, do. I'm waiting for Charity to go. So yeah, there's editing involved. So, what about your WoW?
And actually, my favorite WoW moment is a bit of a story, but it's all thanks to this raid, because this is where I met For and Mir.
Yeah.
And I'd known I guess I had known Miraima and Formir for about a year at this point, and I get a text. Get on a healer, go to Deep Home, take off all your clothes. And
not the text you get every day.
The character?
Yeah.
Me, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, okay, she doesn't normally joke about this, so I'm going to trust her. And I showed up, and that's when I got the phosphorescent stone drake. Because I got a random scary text, and it was, yeah.
Why, you got to explain it more. Why did you have to show up as naked as a priest?
Oh, and I had to be a healer.
Yeah.
So it's a very rare spawn mount where the character Anax shows up in Deep Home, and you can only loot Anax in a party or smaller group. You can't do it in a raid.
Okay.
And the Secret Finding Discord had basically arranged it where they had one tank, and then every other person was healers, and basically he would pull in one group, and everybody would just heal the boss. And then the tank would drop group, start next group. And that way we got like 80 or 90 people to mount that one pull. Like there was a ridiculous number of us there, and it was basically cheesing the mechanic so that we could overcome the limitations of looting.
Okay. All right.
But yeah.
An exploit. I love those.
No. No.
Clever use of game mechanics.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exploit. But yeah, I mean, I never would have met For and Mir, and if it hadn't been for this raid group, and yeah.
Cool. Very cool. How about you, Epistle?
Let's see here. Favorite raid moment. You don't get to be the hero much as a tank, but you get to screw things up a lot. And so there was one fight, I don't remember the particulars, but it must have been the last raid, where it was literally everyone died but me, and my health bar was going down, but I took the boss down by myself.
I remember
everyone else had died, and it was one of those great moments.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Now, which boss was that? I couldn't tell you, but that moment.
Also was.
So those are always fun when they happen.
Yeah, my daughter had one of those, and I got to hear all about it.
I was there for that one. That one was epic.
Yeah, that was even better, actually. Yeah.
We started calling her the queen because the
Yeah.
season before I did that. And I was
Yeah.
Right now, I'm upset at her because she's kind of beating me on DPS, but that's all right.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll beat her.
Get good.
That is one of the most fun tanking moments, though, I find, when you can be just the last person standing and grab defeat, or rather grab victory from the jaws of defeat. That's always fun.
Yeah.
And I had some moments like that, and those are always the most intense ones. And then everyone cheers on the channel because it's just so much fun. My favorite podcast moment, I don't know why. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it was a weird thing to remember. So just a few days ago, before you invited me in for this retrospective, I was remembering one of the podcasts where I was trying to describe my opening tank attack move, and I realized how complicated it was. So basically, I activate a couple different abilities, throw a shield, use my mount to sprint in, do a 180 rotation around the boss, land in a consecrate, and there's like 7 different abilities, I think, that all sequence up one after the other to do that. But I'm realizing I can do that almost automatically now since I talked it through on the podcast. So from anyone else looking, I run at the boss, and you wouldn't even notice that when I stop, the back of the boss is facing you. So it's just one of those little value-added fancy things you can do as a tank if you kind of work out a whole bunch of particulars. So I remember explaining it and thinking, hey, I think I actually managed to make sense of how that works to people. And I felt pleased with myself after that.
Nice. Very cool. And how about Joda? Favorite WoW and favorite podcast moment?
Ooh, that's gonna be a little tough. Probably for WoW, it was last raid in Sire Denathrius. Learning how to raid lead that fight was super fun. It's probably the most fun I've had in WoW. And doing.
Wait, you were learning when you did that?
Yeah,
that was my first time like calling
That was
shots.
good.
I couldn't have told you that.
But it was a great experience and great, to great people to play with. So that's definitely my favorite WoW moment. And then podcast wise, it's probably guest starring on the podcast for the first time. That was like, I was super excited, told my friends about it. It's like, hey guys, tune in. I'm going to be on for one episode. And here we are now.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's how it always starts. So, did any of your friends watch or listen?
For a bit, but they've all stopped playing WoW, and now they're just like, I haven't seen them actually in IRL since the pandemic started.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be catching up with them pretty soon, eventually.
Cool. All right, Lorelei, your turn.
Okay. My favorite time in the podcast was when we were invited on Rose's show. Because, oh wait a minute, you were invited.
Yeah,
just you.
Well,
that was still my favorite because.
No, because I got to explain that because he invited us. He said, "I would like to invite you to our show from the Lionspridetavern."
And the rest of us just came along.
No, I did it because I'm like, I'm not the show. All of us are the show.
Yeah.
So I said, sure, we'd love to. And then when we showed up, it was like, okay, everybody's here. And he was like, everybody?
Everybody.
I thought it was just going to be you.
That was so much fun because that was somebody that was outside of our game.
Yeah.
Picking us as one of what he thought was one of the best or better podcasts, which meant people were listening to us.
Yeah.
Besides, we remember how excited we used to get when we'd be like, oh, we got somebody from Brazil listening.
Yeah.
We were keeping track of what country people were coming from.
Or even a few numbers, more than one or two are listening. Yay.
Yeah. Right. And welcome to this country. And to find out that somebody else who listens to all these kind of podcasts were saying, oh, this is one of the ones people should listen to. That made me feel like we were actually doing something besides just sitting here and talking about our raid on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I was really impressed that we filled a niche. Niche. Yeah. And what you were talking about there, for people who don't know, is we used to have a digital artist. She got pregnant, had a kid too, so she left us.
Dang those kids.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But she would draw a picture from WoW. We would send her a picture of one of us in our new costume, and she would draw it. And so while the podcast was going on, you could watch her. She filmed herself drawing it digitally the whole time. So I would post those to YouTube. Well, I didn't know there were analytics in Podomatic, which is where we host our podcast. I only knew about the ones in YouTube. And so every week in YouTube, I'd look to see who and what country they were watching us from, and like Lorelei said, we got a listener from Brazil. I didn't know they spoke English down there. But yeah, it was kind of interesting, to be on the World Wide Web, and there was people all over the world listening to us. And then I found the analytics in Podomatic and realized, holy crap, there are a lot of people that listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
We got really excited when we hit 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now we're always in the top 5.
Yep, we're
podcast, that's amazing
for the gaming. The gaming podcast section of Podomatic, we're always in the top 10. We're staying in the top 5, which is pretty cool. Keep getting beat out by those guys doing the card game. I don't know.
Oh, we got to find something to do about that.
We're going to beat them one day. But yeah, and then, we've got, every week, we've got about 5,000 people. It's spiked a couple of times to a little over 6,000 people a week that listen to us. Now, it's not just that week's podcast, but our podcasts, even the backlog ones will add into that total. So that's pretty impressive for a week. That's, 20,000 people a month. And when the advertisers start seeing that, that's when they start going, oh, we need to throw some bucks their way and get some advertising going. So that's why we get advertisers every once in a while. So, yeah.
You hear people talk about making movies or television, like actors talk about this, but then they're just doing it like on their own and they don't really have a sense of audience. But then they can go and see, the movie coming out or the TV show, and then they see an audience and go, oh, that's cool. But I think it was like that for us in many ways because, we're doing this thing and it's just us talking. And until you sort of see the numbers, you don't realize, oh, wait, there's actually an audience. And then I started to imagine talking to a crowd of 5,000 people. And I'm like, that would be disconcerting.
Yeah, well, Mac told me just to, think of them all being in their underwear. So I don't have a problem anymore.
Please don't think of me in my underwear.
We see that in the raid.
No, I used Moreau's armor polish.
He has polished underwear on.
Polished under, yeah.
Too funny. All right, so how about your favorite WoW moment there, Lorelei?
I think my favorite WoW moment was the first raid that I ever got into with the guild, and that was Naxxramas. And it was a part of the game I had never seen before. And I just been kind of learning how to play a character and not having anybody who could teach me how to do it. And kind of got in with the B team where we had a lot of fun with that. And that was with Bless You and Dackard, who were in the guild for a while.
Oh, yeah.
It was just fun. We just had a great time. And it was like, oh man, I didn't even know this part of the game existed. Because I never got to do it because I didn't really know what I was doing. I just trailed along with anybody that I knew from their guild to guild. And that was when I first started raiding, and I had so much fun. I just kept on doing it. Not always the best at it, but it's still fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's, and I look forward to it, even though you guys are like, you never play WoW. I look forward to every Friday and Saturday night, and then of course Sunday and Saturday, morning, whatever, for BC. But it's not so much for me the game. It's because of you guys. I really, no, seriously, you guys are seriously like, and Lorelei said it, you're like family. I've met Epistle. I know Dizzy.
You tried to run me over with a car.
I did. I did. You were talking to my wife,
with your friends.
I worked with her.
So, yeah, I know. But, I've gone out to meet a couple other players. They're not with us anymore because they kind of did other things. But our digital artists that we had, I went up and met with them because they were up in Canada also. So we met with them same time we met with Epistle and his lovely family. And they took us in and fed us dinner and taught my wife how to make, what are those biscuits?
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding. Oh, and then she comes back. We had Yorkshire pudding every night for like 2 weeks. They're good. They're really good. You've never had them.
Sounds like something.
Yeah, something wonderful.
No, actually, I was going to say it sounds like something Mac would do. He'd make the same thing over and over and over.
That's how you master it.
That's right.
Well, when it's good, you want it again and again and again.
Not every single day for 2 weeks straight.
Well, I just need to say that Mommy Fortuna has just made a comment that you are full of something, and it wasn't every single day.
Yeah,
just keeping you honest.
Yeah, I'm sure that was in Discord. She's right above me, which I'm surprised she hasn't thrown anything.
Is she still throwing marbles down at you?
No, No, you got to remember, she's working in another town right now. So she has to drive an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back. And she has her own little apartment there and a whole bit. So when we see each other on the weekends, we're nice to each other.
Allegedly.
Yeah, well, because, we only got... some weekends she's here 2 nights, some weekends she's here 3 nights, before she has to go back up for the week. Because she works 10-hour days. And she rotates her weeks. So she's either home on Thursday or she's home on Friday, and either has a 2-day or a 3-day weekend. So, but yeah, so she's trying to be nicer to me, so she's not throwing anything really heavy.
And in Discord, she just typed, "Yes, dear, we can hear you."
Yeah.
What happens in Discord does not stay in Discord.
That's right. I have to sleep with one eye open and hide my Sharpie pens.
It's fun because when I'm doing the podcast, we record the podcast on Sundays, and we record it so I can edit it. She's in the background. She'll be sitting in the living room behind me, and she'll make snide comments during the podcast. I usually ignore her, but All right, so that was all the questions, right, Mac?
That's Discord? All I saw him over there.
All right.
Yes.
Well, guys, we're into this thing for an hour and 40 minutes so far. I think it's been fantastic. I really appreciate all the past podcast members coming back. Dizzy, Pistol, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
I was hoping to get a couple more in, but Tappuccino. Has anybody heard from Tappuccino lately?
I mean, they're having a hurricane hitting them right now.
That's true, yeah.
Excuses.
But she was the only one that never responded. I mean, Ant was going to show up, but he got newly married and they were going on vacation, so he couldn't make it. But Ant, we would have totally welcomed you in. That would have been no problem. Joe Bowie never responded.
It was hard enough getting him out the door and stopping thinking about everything. He needed this.
Yeah. I know he definitely works very hard and plays very hard.
Go.
Yeah.
Go.
So, but and then let's see, who else did I tried to get a hold of Joe Bowie, but he didn't respond either. I don't know if he's still on Discord anymore. Was that Scotch there, Mac?
That was. I figured we were almost over.
Oh, we're almost.
No, wait a minute. No, I saw
Starting
you
the post-party
bottle quite a while ago.
But I haven't taken a sip out of it until now.
So, but what I do want to do is I want to thank all of our fans who got on this stream live tonight. Thank you very much. I saw Droz go by. I saw Kayla go by. Listra's on. Zach Wow. I can never pronounce your name. Who else has been on there? Mac. Oh well.
Charity, he doesn't count.
Yeah. Raw's life. I've been trying. I swear, every time you see me lean over like that, I've been typing on my laptop, which is sitting next to me.
Yep. So thank you guys.
Shit on my lap.
I can see who's actually that is actually on here. I've got a list of people that are actually in chat. They don't necessarily have to actually say anything, but I can see them. I want to thank you guys too, even though you're just lurking. We really appreciate you. We do this podcast for you guys. Not so much that we don't have better things to do on Sundays. I'm sure we do, but we do enjoy doing it. At least I do. So. Mm. But thank you, Dizzy.
I had fun kicking Mac out of the kitchen.
Thank you, Dizzy. Thank you, Epistle. Thank you, Charity, for showing up tonight.
Next week,
thanks, everyone.
Mrs. Mac is going in for surgery on Friday, and I wasn't sure I was going to make it to the podcast next week, so I do have reinforcements for next Sunday's show.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Yeah. Do you know if you're going to be there or not?
I don't know if I'll be there.
He'll be there. He'll be there. I'm gonna make dang sure he's up there. I have a friend flying up from Chicago. She wanted to come up and just help out for a week, and Another friend of mine got her a ticket with miles. Actually, this is the same friend that we were in Chicago with on the train. My girlfriend and I have pictures of us in the playpen together. That's how long we've known each other. But anyway, she's coming up to give a hand because the surgery is going to be pretty big, and I'm not going to be very mobile for a while. And so this will give Mac a chance to be on the podcast. And then hopefully by the following week, I'll at least be able to pop in and say hi. Okay. Won't be too drugged up, but
yeah. Well, good luck to you. We're all pulling for you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
You know, because surgery is not an easy thing, and it's not something to be taken lightly. Because even the simplest surgeries can go wrong, and the most complex can be so simple. So.
Yep. I'm just waiting for it to be done.
Yeah, I hear you. When I had to have surgery on my foot, I was the same way. I was like, just get it done and over with. Let me know if I come out of it. All right, so we're going to say goodbye, everybody. I want to thank everybody for who's watching, who's watching.
Watching.
That's a new word right there, watching.
You've been sharing Max Scotch.
Yeah, you thought this was just water.
I've had 3 sips.
4. Yeah, on a shirt, who's watching?
Yeah. But, watching this podcast this time for our live broadcast for our 5-year anniversary, and then thank you all for listening to our podcast. That's huge for us. Like we said, when we see those numbers, it's absolutely cool. So we're all going to say goodbye, and we're going to start with Charity and go right across the top, all the way back down to Lorelei. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you all next week.
See you later, dudes.
I'll go make some gold.
Go have some fun and make something wonderful.
Bye.
Later, taters.
Later, y'all.
See you later, Ray.
I was wondering if they were going to remember their extra taglines going out. See you guys later.
Bye. Happy anniversary.
Bye.
It wouldn't be an anniversary show if I didn't mess up the outro.